Something I was checking my audio.
Your audio is fine, and we're also live at the same time. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Cow Corner Dugout. Here we are, 11 p.m. On the dot, or not rather, I think a minute earlier than 11 p.m. But that's also because the games got over. Thankfully, the teams have adhered to some kind of discipline and have finished the game before 11. We haven't seen that quite often happening this IPL, but to discuss all of that are the usual suspects, Nirav and Trinay. Welcome back.
Hello.
Hello, you caught me a bit unawares. I still
Yeah,
was
so
figuring out my system. Didn't know you were going live.
Yeah. So was Shreyas and Prabhsimiran in the middle for a while there. Shreyas played an innings which reminded me of his 2017-2018 self, striking at 110, and Prabhsimiran slowed down after the power play as well. Quite odd from the two of them. Was there anything in the pitch or the bowling that you guys noticed on that front?
See, I think this is the usual pattern. And first, welcome to all our seven viewers, who are, I think, eight right now. The number is increasing. All of eight from Twitter. Uh, for the people who are, viewing us, of course, Punjab has, just to summarize the game today, Punjab has lost the game, and I thought, okay, Punjab, had an opportunity. And I remember somebody on the group actually commenting, "Ki Punjab also needs somebody like a Romario Shepherd to give a 20-run over," and then somebody said Arshdeep has volunteered for that, and that's how the runs came. And so we have our usual commenters too. Welcome, guys. Welcome, Steve. Bye. Welcome, Manjunath. Yes, man, it's not a good day for CSK if RR wins. I never really wanted them to win. And yes, they played Brar. I kind of did we speak about Harpreet Brar yesterday? Not yesterday, right? I think it was a
We
couple
used to
of
speak
games
about
back
them a bunch because they played
because they played.
Vaishak ahead of him. Right, Vaishak got a
Right.
couple of games ahead of him, so
Yeah, but we discussed that at the back end of the tournament, it's highly likely that Brar will come in once there is something for
Yeah.
the spinners.
yeah.
And today I mean, both sets of spinners did fairly well.
Yeah, I think
Both
together,
went well under the. Yeah.
well under the required rate. I think the Pacers got hit for Punjab, and this is a slight worry for them because their Pacers, one of them, Arshdeep Singh, went at 17 and over, 4 overs for 68. Lockie Ferguson went for 4 overs, 57. That's how much? 14.25. That's Marco Janssen, who just started bowling his fourth over, and he went for 41, which is about 12 and a half an over. So sudden worry because the spinners have done very well. Spinners, Harpreet, I think none for 25 or 4. Yuzi, 3 wickets today, but went at about 9 and over. Do you suddenly see that there's this chink in the armor where Punjab's fielding and Punjab's pace bowling under due is now coming under the scanner? Did you think that?
Yeah, I think there isn't a cause for alarm because they're sitting comfortably at the top of the table. But I think there is cause for concern because most teams' bowling has improved as the tournament has progressed. Um, Punjab is not one of them. If at all, they have plateaued, or I would say gotten worse, as the tournament has gotten wrong. And I think they have to factor in the back end of the tournament, where the pressure will be higher, teams will be coming in harder. Uh, it seems like Punjab team management, captain, senior players, they have been able to take pressure or not get affected by pressure too much. But there will be more and more bad days for the bowlers. I'm not just talking about today's game. They also gave 264 2 days ago.
Right.
Uh,
Yeah.
so given that, I think everywhere teams will be saying, okay, this bowling attack can be broken apart, right?
Right.
So far, I think the batsmen have delivered. I think it's time for the bowlers to deliver. And last year around this time, the bowlers actually defended 115 or something. Remember that game where they
Which
against KKR?
RR was yes, yes,
RR
yes.
was it?
That's the
Was
one.
it
UC
KKR, I
Chahal
think.
got no, no. UC
KKR.
Chahal came to form. Yeah, picked up 4 for
Yeah,
or 5 for. Yeah.
yeah. So that needs to start happening. I think maybe I mean the today Yuzi bowled some spectacular balls and some utter garbage, and he has to just I think get Harpreet Brar was outstanding. He kept. I mean, there was one time Riyan Parag played a brilliant stroke and got that reverse sweep. But apart from that, I think he kept his line pace consistent. Yashasvi Jaiswal was trying to pick up the ante, increase the scoring, but just couldn't get him away.
Yeah.
All of them were
Inter-
chopped to cover for singles. So
Interestingly, I noticed that today what RR has done is like it's a little template for the rest of the season for other teams to say that hey, Punjab is probably there are areas where you can, go beat Punjab. So this game is a traditional template in T20 where you bat first, you're scoring what is just par, but there were opportunities to score higher, or maybe the wickets, are slightly too paced or slowing down, and then Dew comes in and it just makes it like a completely level playing field. Not even it's more than a level playing field for the side chasing, assuming they have the batting and the execution. To me, I thought Punjab were always slightly behind. Like the power play, they were 65 for one. After seeing them score 100 odd runs versus Delhi, this was like, oh man, are these guys, actually scoring just this much? RR scored 84 for one. And they were matched in the middle overs. I think both teams did 95 for two,
I
96
think
for
around
three.
11, 12 overs. I think they were both. I think they flashed the scores. It was neck and neck, and it was neck and neck till the spinners finished, and then suddenly those 17, 18, 20 run overs were back. Arshdeep
Right.
came back, gave 17, 18. Marco Jansen went for 20. So there were a series of those overs, and then the asking rate when it's in the tens and elevens, and you've got 6 wickets in the Hutch, then it's not really a problem.
Right. And as much as we thought that RR basically, just bowled better than Punjab, I think they outplayed them in both departments. Punjab today scored like 12 sixes and 18 fours. These guys, RR, scored 14 sixes and 21 fours. They were like 24 runs more in boundaries. And in terms of the percentage of dot balls bowled, RR had bowled more dot balls. So I think these basic metrics, RR today was all out ahead. And I never expected I thought RR was that team that is going to have it slide. But today was a remarkable comeback. I kind of didn't expect that to happen. But did you see that coming because they won the toss and chose to field?
Yeah, that was always going to be their best chance, wasn't it? But I did
Hmm.
feel 220 odd was enough on this kind of a wicket because, I mean, largely it was a function of seeing Prabh and Shreyas slow down, or rather not being able to get away, get boundaries away. Which I think at that point, at a similar point, RR was also struggling because if you see 7, 8, 9, 10th, 11th overs, they were also going with fours and fives and sixes, right? I mean, they weren't able to get the boundaries of the spinners. Um, but yeah, I think the difference was in the quality of pace. You know, if you look
They
at
weren't
the pace
Yeah, I
separated
bowlers,
by
think they.
much.
Hmm?
I know if Shreyas and Prabhsimran didn't slow down or get stuck as much as they did, you'd expect another 20 to 30 runs on board, and that might have been enough because Jurel also got stuck in the middle, which I think was an
yeah,
effect of Harpreet Brar.
yeah.
But the others, Donovan Ferrara and Shubham, the way who came in after that, I feel they maximized the depth more than um, their Punjabi counterparts did.
Right. I was actually watching Jurel's innings today from the stump vision camera on Geostar. And I kind of could see that as soon as Harpreet Barar and Yuzi came on to bowl, their length was largely short of good length, pitched, in the 6 to 8 meter region from the crease. And it always put the batter on the back foot, and all they were looking to do was just to safely play it out. It didn't look like they had very high intent during that particular period, but it was an amazing 4 overs for 25 runs that Harpreet Brar delivered, kept the opposition quiet. But unfortunately, on a day where pace got hit, they just got hit a lot more than Chopra or Andre Berger did. Now Berger also went for about 15 over. Chopra just went for 10. So I think today, if you're a pacer and you're going at 10 runs an over, look par. But Arshdeep Singh was easily 30 runs above par. Lockie Ferguson was about 17, 18 runs above par. And this is probably where they lost the game. I'm guessing with it's not like they're bad bowlers. It's just that in due, sometimes if you miss your line and length, you just get carted away.
No, I think to be fair, both the teams at the back end they managed to score big runs. I think with Stoinis in there, his 62 of 22 actually is faster than Weber Suryavanshi, so his strike rate is high, right?
Oh
Uh,
yes.
Yeah,
So if you look at
262, if I'm
that,
not mistaken.
and if you look at, let's say, if you do a comparison of what Shubham did to what Priyansh Arya did, I think that also evens out. So there's a lot of evening out in the thing. I feel Punjab got away with, I think, 70 plus in their last five, right?
62, no? Or they
62
did
was
more
just
than
Stoinis. 62 of
that?
22
No,
was
no.
just Stoinis.
Okay,
And
I was looking at the
the last
stats.
30 balls was 71, I think, or something like that.
Is it?
So
It
it was
says
70
final
plus in the
overs.
last five
Okay,
overs.
final overs in cricket for it says 65 for 1, 95 for 2, and 62 for 1 for Punjab.
62 for one will be in four overs. Or is it five?
Final
Over
is what,
16
7?
to, it's,
16
I
to
think
20 is a
Cricinfo
final
counts.
is fine.
I think Cricinfo counts it as 17 to 20.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Just check if it is.
We can
If
go
you've
to the
got
overs tab and calculate.
Crickbuzz hand, yeah, just check what the score was. Anyway,
So the
it's a moot
last,
point because
yeah, 10, 17, 31, 48, 72. 48, 24, 72. I think they've got their math wrong. But if you were to look
no, I
at
think
last
it's
four overs,
I think Crick Info
21,
counts it as
20,
final
61.
overs
Ah,
as
yeah,
last four, not last five.
last four.
Uh,
Got
so if you look at last five, both teams got 70 plus, right? Uh, I mean, RR new, so they were pretty much
yeah,
neck and
72.
neck
Right,
till
right.
15 overs. Is what the so the flaw
No,
the
they were ahead. Actually, at the end of 15 overs, these guys were 150 for 3. These guys are 165 for 4. 1 run per over more, but they had lost a wicket more at that stage. And by the 16th over, they had scored 180. These guys had scored 160. So they were going at 10 and over. And I think this is where they didn't get those big overs in the middle overs.
So I think the over 13, 14 probably is where the momentum shifted
Correct.
because they were neck and neck for a while. And then I think that one, there was a, so this partnership is 77 of 32. That's an incredible match winning partnership. Yes, I can expect Don Ferreira to have done it, but for Shubham to have to come in and play this kind of a, you know, innings, I mean, he's shown a bits in the past. Didn't know that his ceiling was this high. I personally
Right.
didn't. 32 of your 12 is with one false shot is what Priyansh Arya did. So given that, I mean, this guy's a quality finisher, right? So given that they have also Dashun Shanaka to finish, uh, and I think they've probably made a good couple of decisions. Uh, Maybe given the wickets, Bishnoi comes back in for Brijesh or for Punja, depending on who has more left-handers, who has more right-handers. So I don't know.
Bizarre call, wasn't it? I mean, benching Bishnoi for Yash Punja. He
Why?
didn't
Punjab
even
Because
bowled
do
the
that.
previous.
Punja did okay in the last game he played, right?
He
Whichever
did
the last
okay.
game was.
Bishnoi is still your frontline spinner, right? He's still one of the best spinners in the league. Has been for a while. Quite odd benching him.
I just think
His
they
game
kept
count as a
Bishnoi in
break
your
or something.
impact player list. If they wanted to, they
I
just wanted to.
Was he? I'm not sure.
He was
No,
in the
why?
impact player list.
Why would they? They bowled for RR bowled first, right? So even if he was in the impact
Correct.
sub list, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, because they had a sixth bowler.
Yeah.
They didn't use it. Don't you? Did they have a
That
sixth
said,
bowler? They had Dasun Shanaka as an option, Donovan Ferreira as an option. So they didn't go to that.
Does Shanaka even count as a bowling option? I don't think he bowled a
He is.
single over for them in the T20 World Cup.
He would open the bowling. What are you talking?
No, he didn't.
He was taking the new ball in several games.
I don't remember.
Shanaka, check most games he bowled his fourth. He would take the new ball sometimes. He would definitely bowl in the death.
there's some part of the mind, I know every fan's mind that's saying Dasun Shanaka equal to Shivam Dubey equal to like dibbly dobbly pace bowlers who get hit. So there's a part of your mind that's maybe thinking that way. But as Nirav said, I think we'll have to just check that stat out. But Don Ferreira, apparently DD did that. Sorry, Delhi Capitals did that trade preseason, and they sent him here. So it's one more of Delhi's, like the way Delhi gave away Trent Boult in 2020 to Mumbai Indians. I never got that trade. Nor did I get. I mean, of course, we spoke about the Hardik trade some time back. Okay, another comment coming from Steve Bai that says From Simran, in my opinion, the power play is the easiest and not that tough to hit it at all. Is that what you said?
Yeah,
Maybe it's a
he said
comment.
that a couple of episodes ago, or at the start of the season, I should say. He said that it doesn't take too much skill to hit in the power play, and most batsmen at that level should be able to score quickly in the power play. And he had that opinion of Prabh as well. I think he's talking about the fact that Prabh scored quickly in the power play, but then he slowed down immediately afterwards, along with Shreyas.
Ah, right.
Yeah,
Ah, the previous comment is the middle overs card. It's come from there.
yeah.
But yes, a very interesting game. And when what was your thoughts in the middle overs? Sorry, in the innings break. At that point, I thought despite due and stuff like that, RR would succumb to scoreboard pressure. And when this guy Jaiswal got out caught at long on, I thought, okay, this is probably where the collapse begins. And interestingly, that didn't happen. I like the confidence. These guys just came there, blitzed it out, and then they were here.
I thought they had enough new ball power to get one of Suryavanshi and Jaiswal out within the first 2 overs before they did too much damage. But quite they didn't actually, and both of them managed to inflict some damage before. Suryavanshi did get out relatively early, but he'd already done quite a bit of
He had
damage by
already
then.
done that damage. Some of his sixes, man, I just love the way
Yeah,
he is able to just free swing. And they were also showing that graphic on TV, which shows his bat swing starts up in the air and then it does this, and then he hit it. I think there's a mini helicopter shot loading for Vaibhav Suryavanshi, given that the way he bats. And there was one shot where he's holding the bat handle pretty high, gives him a little more, leverage to hit that ball, and he was just swatting bowlers like it were flies. And that's just amazing technique for somebody who's as young as this and up and coming. Yes, the helicopter flick was really nice, as Steve Bai also observed. So yeah, I think that's something what we gathered from today's game. Are we already out of points for today's game, or where are
not
we?
really. I feel Stoinis coming in at 5 instead of Nehal, who's been batting there for this season and a bunch of the last, was a pretty good move from them, from Iyer or Ponting, whoever came up with that decision. Pretty good, right? Because they've been using him as their designated finisher this whole season. His spot has been number 7, where he either hasn't gotten the opportunity to succeed or he hasn't succeeded. Either way you want to
He's not
call for
got
it.
too much of it. That's what he also said in the innings break, right? That I've just been watching all of these guys come in and flex their muscles and score these runs, but I haven't really got an opportunity to go out there, get some time in the middle, and then score these runs. So I think that
Yeah,
way, Stoinis was happy. A good, promotion coming in at 5. I didn't pick Stoinis because I thought they usually go for Nehal Vadera at 5. And as a result, Stoinis doesn't get enough resource opportunity, so wasn't in my fantasy team, and that's the reason why I finished 23rd. So, so I didn't have Toynes, nor did I have Don Pereira. But
23rd out
yeah,
of how
quite
many
a
people?
24.
Yeah, uh,
So
good move from Punjab, not such a good move from you. Um, Australia made
Yeah.
the same
So
mistake for
the
years,
other
right? They kept
correct.
him a little lower down. Even in the ODI setup, he'd bat at 6 or 7. And then in the T20 side, they moved him up and he made some runs. And not just for them, for the Stars as well. The Melbourne Stars in the Big Bash. So yeah, good smarts from Ponting there.
Yeah, I'm with Arshdeep. There was this very interesting comment. I think for the first couple of games, Arshdeep was getting hit, and I think Ian Bishop spoke to him on television, asking him, "Hey man, what's wrong? What have you done?" And you come back very strongly. How have you done that? And he said he just spoke with Ponting. Ponting said, "Look, you've come after a high. There is this natural motivation levels that are low because you won a World Cup. It's as intense as that. So just chill. Now, there's nothing else wrong with you. You're allowed for a couple of games to have these kind of performances." And then Arshdeep came in and got a good performance. So I'm curious to say what Ricky Ponting will say, or what is the word of advice that he's going to point Arshdeep towards, because last time it wasn't technical, it was more mental. That was what the conversation with Ian Bishop revealed that day on TV. But yeah, I think Arshdeep has looked a little. Even the balls that he bowled right to Donovan Pereira today, one was a full toss, one was like it looked like a length ball, but it was short of good length. The ball that went for 6, but yeah, looked a little listless. Bowlers were able to very easily take him on. So And there wasn't probably too much swing also at the top, which also explains how Jaiswal and Suryavanshi both went after Ashdeep Singh.
On Arshdeep, wasn't there? Didn't he perform well in one match, and then him and Ponting came out in an interview and said the points that you brought up, like, oh, he's found a C movement or whatever, got back into rhythm as they call it.
Correct.
Short-lived.
I remember him short-lived. They came back for one game. That's it.
Happens. I mean, he did well in one game and he got swing. So I guess it's down to the if the ball swinging, then but he still sprayed it a bit. That's what's concerning for Punjab's sake. I mean, I don't know. I think it's if a guy is just not getting it together, but he has quality, I would say give him a break for a match. Just
Who
let
comes in
him
though?
chill. They have some fast bowler. They have Yash Thakur. They have Vaishak. The other problem was actually Xavier Bartlett also has gone downhill since the first game, right? Steadily, like every game, he's been giving more
Ever
and more
since
and
the
more and more
KKR
runs.
game, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And and today Lockie was looking rusty, but I think
No, Lockie, I want to
Lockie is
bring
too
Lockie
good a
to call
bowler.
here. He
I,
actually looked good against Suryavanshi, and in his first death
he
over, he
looked
strung
good.
together a
Like
couple of dots, and
yeah.
then
So I'm saying
he got unlucky a bit.
he's you could see moments of great bowling because he will eventually get it right. I think he just needs a
Yeah.
little more game time perhaps. Um, yeah, that's I mean so Punjab has some worries, but nothing alarming, at this point.
Yeah, but yeah, unfortunately, that unbeaten IPL streak is gone for Punjab. So right now, RR and Kolkata Knight Riders are the only teams
But also
Punjab has.
the streak of not having dropped a catch. So that is, I'm sorry, of the catch dropping ended today. Punjab took all the catches. So that's
There
largely
was
got to do huh,
there was
with
a
a
little bit of
gentleman.
suspect fielding at the start,
Well,
especially
they
in
didn't
Arshdeep. The
they didn't drop a
misfields, not
catch.
drop catches.
Yeah. So I just wanted to also Azmatullah Omarzai lost his mom today. So
Oh, okay.
just commiserations and condolences for that, and also condolences to Shashank Singh. I think he he was waterboarded perhaps after the last game, and that's why today he was dropped
Maybe they
because they
wanted
didn't give
him
it.
to have a break because they realized that there is some level of fatigue showing in, or some kind of, because Shashank Singh
They didn't.
doesn't look like the guy.
No, he's
Who-
he's batting very well. His strike rate is in the 280 plus range, as far as I recall. So yeah, so
Was he
he's
rested or back spasmed, as Neerav likes to call it?
Shreyas Iyer said forced change.
ah,
That was his
so
comment.
it's
Does
he's
that mean
recuperating from his waterboarding after the last game. He was locked up in the bathroom and sprayed with jet sprays.
There's a
So I
very
guess that's fine.
interesting Tamil movie scene for that where I think it's in a jail where two heroes basically break the bones of the other guy and say, "This is how we're going to send you there." And yeah, that's a meme that's playing out in terms of whenever you want an injury, how you injure the person. And that said, this game is
Shreyas knows a thing or two about
back
uh,
spasms.
back spasms, yeah. And sitting out of matches because of injury to accommodate other people.
if Shashank is in such a rut on fielding, why can't they pretend he has a niggle, name him in the 11, and have a 12th man field? If he is having a
It's
pretty good season.
he's in general he's one of the better fielders. He gets the reason he's dropping the catches is because he's there to draw. Like he's at the point where the catches come, right? I mean, he's taking on the deep mid wicket boundary, he's taking on the cover point boundary. These are tough areas in the field to man. You generally put your better outfielders in there, especially in the power play. The two guys who go out, one is your worst fielder. You try and find like a third man, and the other is your best fielder. You try and because he get the maximum, especially if the outfield is big. Shashank is that guy.
Also, I
So
think
he's
because
just
he's a
having.
safe fielder,
Yeah,
so they just want him to take a break is probably my assumption. कि एक game तुम break ले लो. You also feel okay. Oh shit! I could have done this. I could have done that. You want the hunger back. They probably feel that hunger is missing somewhere. You can't be dropping 4 catches, man.
Yeah.
and sitters, and he didn't drop difficult catches. That's what's that is a concerning thing. He dropped sitters. So yeah, and Sriyansh Shegade didn't really get an opportunity, so I think Shashank will be back next game. Um,
Also,
yeah,
Shimron Hetmeyer, you want to bring him up? Was he dropped or I
definitely,
didn't hear anything about him? Dropped or
definitely,
did they
definitely.
just?
We saw that, right? 94 runs in 6 innings. So he's definitely not
Definitely, definitely.
scoring runs or at a strike rate that he's expected to while he's batting towards the end. Didn't seem a bad decision, right? With Donovan Pereira, the foreign middle over finisher was batting. I
But
know that
Ferraro
Dasun
was
Shanaka was who replaced him.
yeah.
I know Ferreira is he was replaced by Dasun, but I'm saying that even as a finisher who's coming in at he came in at 5 or 6. Donovan Pereira,
Don was
similar role,
5.
5. I think Shimran comes in at 6, right? Point of
No,
entry usually is 16th, 17th over or earlier.
Shimron enters at 5. That's where he'd usually bat, and then Don will come in at 6. But
Okay. So I think that gave it a lead promotion for Donovan Pereira, the Shimran not being there, and made the best use of it. Some of his sixes were really smoked. It was as if, like, this is the tiniest version of Don Pereira types. So, yeah, I've seen Don Pereira play for the Super Kings in Johannesburg, but it's surprising that CSK didn't put in a bid for him.
yeah, he apparently, from a comment earlier, he plays for
He
TSK
played for.
and GSK, right? He plays for two Super Kings franchises, and they
Yes.
didn't try and pick him up for a relatively
What
low price.
did he? Did he? I don't know. So this goes back to the auction because in the auction he went to DC and DC
Correct.
traded him now to with Rana. So
Yeah,
it was a dominance. So what we were talking about yesterday, mid-season, one team needed a top order left-hander, one team needed a finisher. They sat down and said, "Okay, here's straight swap."
but was this wasn't mid-season? Didn't this happen
No, it
before the
wasn't
season?
mid-season, but I'm saying these kind of things should happen mid-season as well. That's our discussion from yesterday. If
which
you remember.
which was a discussion yesterday, right? Exactly. But that takes us to the points table. On the recent points table, Punjab number one, 13. They stay there after losing this game. 6 wins still. But the other two also are having 6 wins. Royal Challengers, 6 wins from 8 games, having a better net run rate. But Punjab's got that one rained out game. So they're ahead by one extra point, even though they've also won 6. Rajasthan Royals have also hit 12. They've won it from 9 games though. But this looks like one section of the table. Now there is Sunrisers, and Sunrisers have got to play what? They've got 10 points from 8 games, which is 5 victories. Tomorrow they take on Mumbai Indians, who are ninth on the points table. If Mumbai Indians win, they go to 6, and that with their net run rate, I'm assuming that is probably seventh on the points table, where Sunrisers stay at the same spot. But that's just me wanting a little bit of kalesh in the points table so that most teams are able to come back, and we have this conversation till the last week of the IPL to say, okay, who are the other two teams that are joining RCB and Punjab. But that's where the points table right now is. Should we go to the game tomorrow? That's Mumbai versus
Yeah.
Sunrisers.
There's not many times in my life I am supporting Mumbai. As a lifetime CSK fan, I have a special hatred for Mumbai in my heart. And yeah, for once I want to see them win, which shows how desperate this franchise, as in CSK, has become over the last 5 or so years.
I said the same to Indusan. He was boarding a flight to Sri Lanka from Sri Lanka to Mumbai. He's traveling to see that game tomorrow. So I told him that ideally I want to see being happy and seeing MI win, because if MI wins, it means Sunrisers stay at the same spot. So it gives us CSK some time to qualify, because CSK not qualify. CSK gives some time to breathing spot to come closer to 10. That's it.
Yeah.
But that said, for tomorrow's game, which is MI and this thing, is this where MI's turnaround potentially happens? And we'll go to the usual Nirav question: who will the four foreigners be? We've now seen Will Jacks, who's come from
Or am
Paris
I?
for
For
MI,
MI, yeah.
and we've seen Keshav Maharaj also come by. So
Okay, so I mean, two guys, three guys definitely straight away fit in, which is Quinton de Kock, Shafin Rutherford, and Gazanfar, right? Mitchell Santner is ruled out. I don't know if Keshav Maharaj is already in the
Sorry, when you
mix.
say ruled out, are you saying that he wouldn't? Oh yeah. So that's why you're Keshav Maharaj.
Santner
Correct.
is,
Correct.
yeah. So I don't know if Keshav Maharaj has joined the team, ready to play. So I'll hold my
He
judgment on that.
got it.
But I'm trying to see who do they have in their actual squad who can come
Do you
in.
think they'll go? Okay, this is okay. You're saying the other options. I thought the only decision was between Will Jacks and Keshav Maharaj. So Will Jacks otherwise starts. Shafin Rutherford keeps his place at 7. Will Jacks at 8 possibly.
So
Gazanfar, given the way he's
I mean,
bowling,
the
got
thing
2 wickets.
is, uh, if Will Jacks comes in, I'd open the batting window.
Yeah, I was about to say
And
I
that. Why didn't
mean,
you bench
if
Malivar?
Rohit is not playing, because
Yeah.
this Danish Malivar and all these, it's not doing anything for MI. It's putting them on a back foot straight up front, right? You'd rather have, I mean, I don't know. Wouldn't you rather have your best options up front, like take most game time? Will Jacks, I mean, for me, the most tormenting century I have ever seen, I mean, because over the last few years at least, has been Will Jacks against GT at
Yeah.
Ahmedabad. Yeah, I cannot ever get that out of my, because I literally went out of the room because we assumed the GT was losing. I went out, because there was Wi-Fi in another place, so I had to go and send a video, forward a video which was on my phone. By the time I came back, he had gone from 50 to 100, and I'm telling you, it was an over and a half or 2 overs max. So I think in those 10, 11 balls, I mean, you can check the chat, but it felt like, it was like, so for me, it was traumatizing as an opposition person. So I have great, therefore, regard for Will Jacks as an explosive top order player. So
Right.
I feel, uh, I mean, I don't know. I would like to see Rohit back, and I think he's fit. I don't know. Trina can tell us what's on the MI social media radar. Has Rohit been seen doing any videos out on
I
him?
heard that he was doing some practice today. Is what I heard,
Mhm.
but they'll probably know his status only tomorrow.
Okay, so assuming, okay, let's say he isn't playing. Jacks, De Kock, Gazanfar, and Rutherford are your 4 foreigners. And then, or would you make any changes to that?
No, I think I don't know if Mumbai are thinking that way.
No,
It's a very
I would
very
consider Bolt. I would consider Bolt as well, because see, at the end of it, they'll still struggle without bowlers if Bolt is not there.
right.
So I don't know which of the bowlers. I don't know who does okay. Ashwini has been doing okay. Can they think of him? So therefore, my blunt question is: Ashwini a better option than Bolt? Because
Right.
Ashwini is not taking the new ball. He's coming
He's
in
not being
post power play.
correct.
So as a left arm, so therefore, if your power play overs have to be split between Bumrah, Shardul, Hardik, Gazanfar. Somehow you have to figure out, get to these 6, and then Ashwini is the fifth bowling option. And I don't know who's the sixth. Do they have a sixth bowling option in there?
Jacks if he plays.
Maybe Jacks.
But
Jacks
am
or Madan,
I?
whoever.
Bumrah
But
is Bumrah, right?
as
So
much as
you
we
won't
are
really
discussing the which player, do you guys realize that MI have actually used the most players this season? They've used
Yeah.
22
Which is
players.
why they're at the bottom. We discussed this. That's a straight giveaway. They pretty much played there. I don't know if there's anybody left in that. I mean, this year, if Arjun Tendulkar was with MI, he would have played.
What
That's
a
where it's at.
sad.
What an irony, right? The 1 year where
Very
he
bad.
would have gotten. So, what do you think? The other guys will get a go tomorrow? The guys or will they wait for 1 or 2 more games? The player number 23, 24, 25, whoever it is.
Who is Robin
No,
Mins? Is apparently not
Robin
fit,
Mins
right?
is
He
there.
hasn't been seen.
He's not fit. Yeah, he's not fit.
Yeah, so I don't think you can
And
count him. Who's
there's
left?
Raj Angat Bava. I don't know who else is there. There's, of course, no, who hasn't played? Jax hasn't played. Bava hasn't played. So that makes it 24.
Maharaj
one player we
technically.
received.
Yeah, he's just coming to the side. Wow,
Technically,
man, that's a lot of players who've played.
yeah,
But
which
yeah,
Okay,
shows
let's.
that
so this is some kind of a 11 for tomorrow. 11 or is it 12? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. This is an 11. Rohit or substitute Indian opener. And the 12th would be the fourth overseas player. Jack Sock or Maharaj, whichever, if they think the bowling is weak or the batting is weak. But this really has only 5 bowling options. So it'll have to be, I mean, I would prefer to get in a bowler rather than,
Okay, that's
Jax
for
has handy off spin.
sorry.
Jax has handy off spin, right? And their best chance of winning the game tomorrow is one of Rohit, QDK, and Jax, whoever plays in that slurry, whoever plays from there to make runs at the top and make quick runs, right? And those three give you their best chance of doing that. So might as well go for it. Attack the attacking team, which is SRH. So the best bet might be to play Jax, right? And sixth
I
bowler
mean, I
might
would
be a
like to see Rohit back. Personally. And then I would, if Rohit comes in, then I would, I don't know, man, it's such a tough one with Jacks around and Maharaj around. Because Maharaj does give you 4 overs, right?
he's like a bank for 4 overs. Very
Jacks
similar to
doesn't.
how.
But
Yeah.
having said that, the SRH top 3 is lefties. So do you want to play a left arm spinner at all? Um, I don't know, man. I think you have to outbat SRH.
No, I don't think you'd worry about the left arm off spinners to left-handers as much. I checked the matchup data, and Abhishek and Head aren't as good as against left arm off spinners you might imagine. So if Maharaj does his usual stuff, he should be fine. Unless Kishan smokes him. That's the only concern I'd have.
Okay, so let's move to SRH.
Yeah.
And we're talking about
This is
Ishan
what they played
Kishan.
last. Yeah.
Ishan Kishan, he'll come back to a venue which was essentially his right, 2018 onwards. He's played for Mumbai Indians.
Yeah.
And apparently, I read somewhere that the last 3 years at SRH, he's taken his strike rate from 149 in 2024 to 153 in 2025 to 198 this year. So he comes to Mumbai with a very, very different Ishan Kishan than the Ishan Kishan who left MI while playing at Wankhede. So yeah, but apparently last year in the games versus MI, he just made 2 and 1. So he hasn't really
Yeah,
taken
so
off
last
yet.
year there was a highly suspect. You remember that incident where he got caught down the leg side and he walked, and later they showed no spike on the ultra edge.
Ah,
You
ah,
remember
ah,
this
ah.
incident?
Right,
He
right.
missed
I
a
think
shot. Umpire gave it wide, but Ishan Kishan walked. This happened at one play last year.
Hasn't Kohli done the same thing in a World Cup match?
no. I think there's a more deeper
Kohli
meaning
doesn't.
to him saying it rather than
Oh, the
so.
No, I'm saying these are incidents which disappoint
Yeah,
fans. Let's put it this way.
a
Make
hint
them
of
yeah.
Nicholas
question the
Puran.
Disappointed fan.
yeah,
A hint of
and
Nicholas
make them
Puran
wonder
has
whether
put off screen,
IPL.
off stream last time. Are
Right.
you talking along those
What
lines?
what can SRH do?
I think they
Hope
are.
on the
Can
man.
you think they're sorted with this lineup? I think it's still
Yeah.
looking. Eesh.
I think they'll go at. I mean, like only probably change there is now that Pat Cummins has come back to the side,
Yeah.
they feel a lot more confident than the SRH that turned up to play the
Would
first game
would
last
you
season.
consider dropping Travis Head? He's not pretty much not made a run.
I think he's like that kind of a player. If he plays big, he comes across, and I think they will persist with him because he's a part of their DNA for your top three to score runs. And any side we're seeing today, right? If your top three is scoring runs, then you have a high chance of victory. And that way, I think they'll be happy even if
No,
you can get a
it's
30
actually
ball
becoming it's becoming 2, 3, and 4 in their case because it's Abhishek, Ishan, and Klassen who are doing the job, not Travis Head.
Right.
So that is their
Right.
top three in a sense. Because
No, I
Abhishek
defend Head here.
has
I'll defend him because he's one of those players who it looked like he's not scoring runs for a long time, but then one match it'll click for him, and that match will potentially be a very important one, right? We've seen him do it over and over again. WTC final, World Cup final. He won't score runs for a while, and then he'll suddenly go and do it when it matters. So there could be a match, closer to the business end of the season where SRH need to win, and he gives you that 50, 70, 80, or even 100, which gets them through. So I would stick with him personally because
I
he
was
has skin
trying
in
to
the game.
see, because this, if they can get in a number 3 or a number 4, get Ishan to open. I was thinking there's an option, but their reserves aren't. I mean, there are no batters in the reserves.
Their best
There,
option
there
is
is
Smaran
Kamindu
Ravichandran.
Mendes. There is Kamindu Mendes. I mean, I'm saying for Travis. Or even
Smaran
if they
is a
look at
bad.
an Indian batter, there's Smaran Ravichandran. That's pretty much who are essentially number 5, number 6s. Uh, their current squad, which I just put up, is full of number 5, number 6. I mean,
Right.
Nitesh, Salil, Aniket, all are actually number 5, number 6 batters.
No room
But
for
Yeah,
Livingston
I
either.
think
no, I mean, if they drop Travis Head, yeah, Livingston can come.
But then Smaran probably opens, right? Smaran opens, and then you drop
No,
Aniket or
Abhishek and
Salil.
Ishan open.
no,
Abhishek and
yeah,
Ishan open.
that's right. Ishan open, like India opening. But that said, we're now back to Wankhede, and there's a comment that's coming, which it says, with Cummins and Ishan Malinga bowling well, the spin bowling is the weak link. Sakib has bowled well but inexperienced. So who's the weak link in terms of spinners? Who are we talking about here?
Shivang has bowled well, right? He's had a
Shivang's
pretty
been
good
doing
season.
all right.
Shivang is
Shivang,
yeah.
Harsh Dubey, with their curtain of
I
finger
don't think they
spinner
have that
tomorrow.
bad. I don't think they have that bad a batting bowling lineup. I just think both SRH is far stronger than MI. While MI's campaign is hanging by that virtual thread. I'm thinking MI will lose tomorrow and
No, I don't
SRH
think
will.
SRH, I personally, okay, yes. See, what happened against that RR, because Praful Hinge went through RR's top order, right? He got Jaiswal, Suryavanshi, and Jurel, and one
Right.
more. He got that happened, like, it's now been 2, 3 weeks. I think that was his beginner's luck in a way. He's not. I have a feeling. My personal opinion is Sakib is a better long-term bet because of his variations and his consistency with line and length. Um, but I still feel these two are inexperienced, and they can be 60 run bowlers on a given day,
Yeah, and can be
and it
taken
could be
apart.
tomorrow.
Right? And that's
It can be.
can
Then what
yeah can
happens
be
is
possible.
then the pressure on, because see, Pat Cummins is not Pat Cummins is largely there for his aura. He's not that great a bowler or that great a batter, right?
I take
Currently,
offense to that.
he's
Yeah.
coming back from injury. He's not played in 7, 8 months. I don't know. I would suspect that he can be put under pressure, right? So therefore, SRH's bowling is pretty much where it started off. Is one sorry is 120 run over from being taken apart. So good luck to Mumbai in Wankhede. If they play positively, I think what happens when you lose 5 games is that it mentally affects you more than your.
Right.
It's
But
just the whatever. It's
nature of
just I
sport.
think
Yeah.
so. I think MI is just not a happy bunch. I mean, the team is, and I know this, that there are, because I worked for 10 years, right? 5 of them were years they finished at the bottom. So 5 years with the trophy years. So when so for me as a content person, it was just impossible to get them to even talk in those bad times, right?
Yes. Right.
Because I mean, it's an environment where the stakes are so high, the pressure is high. It's a big team. It's an Ambani damn thing. They are in the best hotel in Bombay. All that is there, right? There's so much glitz and glamour and big brands, and all that is around them. So the external noise is very difficult to shut down, as they say. Um, it's the team with one of the biggest, most active social media following. I mean, whichever hotel they stay in Bombay, there's always a crowd outside. Um, so these are circumstances which I don't know. It tends to make so there are because there is a lot of and there's a lot of heft in the MI management as well, right? In terms of the team, there's Mahela, there are big boys there. I mean, at least right now. I mean, there's Pollard, and there's a lot of seniority, big legendary players around, right? Very
Yeah.
comfortable. So Sachin is around. So these are people where, as it is, it's difficult to talk in front of them for the young kids, right? Compounded with that, there is severe, not severe, serious level of experience and aura in the playing 11. The legends, right? Sky, Rohit, QDK, Hardik, all these guys. So for the younger lot, for the fringe lot, it's very difficult to be chilled in this environment. So as a result, what happens and likely to happen in such an environment is that everybody's sitting in their outside of. There's not. So I think MI needs. They used to do that fairly frequently. Bring them, make some but a lot of interesting, unique, and fun team bonding sessions. And I hope they're doing that around now. So because they didn't play on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, so I hope they had a chill weekend, did some interesting things. I don't know. I've not been following them on social media. So I do hope that they get out because it's a rut. It's a rut, and it's like we all are. No, it's a serious level of bad mood. Yeah.
Yeah, not the best environment, right? You could say because of all the seniority. Like the 90s Indian cricket team, when Azhar was captain, there were apparently six previous captains in that team. So how can he expresses lay down the law to his teammates when all of them are older than him or have more legend status than he does? And you said this the Pandya story, right? He was a really good captain, or he had success with GT when everybody was his when he was a big brother to everybody. But he can't, as you said before, he can't be that in this current MI setup because of all the
So
superstardom, the glamour, the
it
gold,
happens.
everything around him.
It happens. Somebody take that question.
Yeah,
What I noticed was Will Jacks was an impact substitute in the last game. So
he's back,
he was
right?
listed
He's
as an
up for
impact.
contention.
So he's been around from the last game. So yeah, sooner or
Yeah,
later,
he
I
is
think
up
he's.
for contention as far as I'm aware. Yeah, back on SRH's bowling attack, just to spin back a little bit. I don't think they're as bad as where they were when they started off because Unadkat and Harshal are, they were awful. Sakib has potential, and I feel Praful is their biggest. This is pretty ironic to say, but I feel he's their biggest liability because getting him away for 20 in the first over is, you know, it can happen to him more than others, right? If you look at everybody else, their death bowling is secure to an extent with Ishan Malinga and Sakib, who's a decent prospect. Shivang's holding it down the middle, and yeah, Pat Cummins will fill the gaps here and there. If Praful goes for runs, he probably brings himself in. So I'd argue they're in a better spot to where they started off, even if so marginally.
They are, no doubt. I mean, as we discussed this earlier, that all teams except for Punjab, the bowling is steadily getting better. Um, yeah, but it's still not. I mean, they are still not a secure bowling lineup like some of the teams have, right? So, you know what I mean? Like,
What do you mean by
what
a
I mean
secure?
is that there are no banks. There's nobody who can say bank 4 over 35 runs max. Come
But
what may, whatever the pitch.
how many teams
A
have a
a lot
bank
of
that?
teams have that. A lot of teams have that. There's like every team has. I mean, the top to four teams actually have two. Punjab is getting away right now, but generally
Right.
speaking, that it is Arshdeep, right? Who's you're saying is going to give you a wicket or two and go for 30, 35, 40 tops on a high scoring day, right? Chahal. Uh, I'm not sure if SRH has that guy who's always on.
Cummins looked good
Yes,
last game.
Cummins
He
was
went
good, but Cummins is. So I'm saying,
28.
in general, he's a great bowler, but he's not played. I think his last competitive game before this was September or something, August, right? August, September, something. I don't think he's played cricket since then.
Yeah, he hasn't.
August would have probably been that South Africa series when they played in Gold Coast and Darwin.
I don't even remember what his last game was.
No, no. His
Is he?
last game was his last Test match was against the West Indies. Yeah, in the West Indies, which was like June or July,
Yeah,
around
he's
that
The
time.
been.
50 all out. The 27 all
Yeah,
out or 50 all out, right?
27 all out. I have that newspaper cutting right here. Mitchell
Wow,
Stark's
you have
400
newspaper
second best win.
cuttings. That's pretty strange for your generation when everything is
you have
available.
newspapers.
One hell of
But
a
that's
Yeah.
it.
newspaper
Let's
So
go to
was
predictions.
last.
Let's go to predictions. Who are you thinking will win the game tomorrow? I heart says SRH, but mind wants MI to win.
my heart is saying
Again,
MI, man. MI is too good a team to be playing like this. And yes, I mean, I've had my. I'm not. I don't currently follow. Uh, I mean, I don't currently root for MI, but I do want to see them not be fighting it out for the wooden spoon with LSG and KKR, because that's really disappointing, because they're not such a bad team and they're in that
Wow, I like
mix
what
right
he
now.
said. I like, you know what? I like what he said. There's something that he said that, made me feel happy. He said they're fighting for the wooden spoon with LSG and some other team. CSK was not mentioned in that. Wow, that
oh
No,
yeah,
tells
no,
everything.
my
right
mistake.
now, look at the points table. They are fighting out there at the bottom, right?
I know,
If
but
they
I'm just saying that sometimes CSK, just
no,
one win
CSK
away is
is
probably.
much ahead, much further ahead.
Uh, 1 second. I'd like to correct a mistake I made. Arthav, thank you for correcting me. He played one solitary
Played an
Test
Ashes
match
Test.
in the Ashes.
Did
Yeah,
he?
he played the
I don't
no no he
remember
played
this.
the Melbourne Test where Smith was ruled out the third Test. He came back just to help them win. Yeah,
Anyway,
he
wasn't too much of
really
workload
helped.
in the Ashes. These guys were getting games done in 2 days and 3 days.
I
Yeah, there
don't
wasn't much
remember him
workload.
playing the
Yeah,
Ashes. It's such a shit
Australia
Ashes
won
that I
the
don't.
Ashes in 11 days. I think they broke Mike
Yeah,
Atherton's record.
10th day.
Yeah,
2, 3, and 4,
Okay.
right? Or what's it? 2, 3, and 3.
yeah, so yeah, they broke Atherton's record from 2001, I think. So,
Okay, let's get back to the predictions. Those are mine. Is there anybody who's still
I really want to. I mean, come on. I want MI to win.
for once, I want
This,
MI to
okay?
win as well, just for my beloved
Am I?
CSK. But yeah,
Am I?
I
Am I? Yeah.
yeah, but again, my head says SRH.
same. Quite.
Okay, so this is where we end today. We've had a long chat, not as long as we usually have, 52 minutes, 63 people. Um, okay, now
Strange,
some of our
for one of the
comments.
better games. This was one of the better games. I think.
Yeah, I think it's just that we probably got more after doing this for 35 games. Now we're able to see through data, we're able to see through narrative. We're like, okay, fine, we're not rambling on different topics.
Yeah.
That said, we're on 63, and this is where we're going to end it here. Thanks for all of the people who joined in. Please do remember that we are live on Twitter and as well as on our YouTube channel, which is Cow Corner Dugout. So we have 57 people live on my X account, 7 people live on Cow Corner. So for all you 7 people and the 57 people, thank you. For the 57 people, please consider subscribing to at the rate of Cow Corner Dugout. And yeah, you'll get notifications on our stream whenever we make a video. But till then, I think it's bye from the three of us. See you around, and tomorrow night, 11 p.m. for the MISRH game. If things don't get delayed, we'll anyway start at 11.
Bye bye.
Till then,
Nighty
Tara.
night.